From the worldwide headquarters of More Sports and Less Levine on a Tuesday night. Good evening, everyone. WaitingForNextYear.com is here. Craig Lindahl is here, along with Rick Grayshock. And you know what? I'm tired of waiting till tomorrow. Why do I have to wait till next year? And how many next years have I been waiting for, Craig?
I don't want to speak to that. I might be giving away some trade secrets about your career.
Well, I've been, yeah, maybe it's all my fault. Hey, Rick is the major honcho of WaitingForNextYear.com. What did you tell me? 14 million hits since you started?
Yeah, we passed 14 million here just a couple weeks ago, and we're pretty excited about that. Things are, still trending up for us, and we couldn't be more happier. Honestly, it's just, just the readers have grasped onto us, and we're very blessed for it.
When you guys came up with the name, you're sitting around saying, we're going to do this website, we need a name. As soon as you, did it just come to you, or was it natural, or was it your 14th choice because it's perfect?
Yeah, honestly, I think when it came up, we knew it right away that was it.
Right. Sort of like More Sports and Less Levine.
Exactly. It just rolls right off the tongue. The thing was that we were trying to be positive about it. A lot of people, they see that name and they think, oh, great, another sarcastic shot at Cleveland sports. No, we're serious. We really want next year to be here,
right.
and we're just earnestly waiting for that time. So that's
so you don't know if you'll change the name if we win something?
I think and we've had this discussion before, if for some reason all three of the Cleveland, the major Cleveland sports teams won a title, we might change it.
Oh, okay. So like if the Indians would win next year, that you'll still
we're still waiting because we're Browns.
You just
and
won't
Cavs
talk
fans.
about the Indians anymore.
Right. Well, I don't know about that.
But I went to college in Boston, and that turned into Titletown here recently.
Right.
And they're waiting for next year too, because you start to get greedy. You just want more and more.
Yeah, the poor suffering New England area fans.
But that's what I mean. You get a little taste. And then you just expect it. You think
I know that if one of the teams ever wins here, that the next night when I do a show, the first caller out of the box will be, yeah, but can we repeat?
Yeah.
Sure, it was easy to win now, but can we repeat? You were a star on radio yesterday, I'm told.
I don't know about a
on 92.3 The Fan.
It was nice enough to have Andy Baskin welcome me onto his show.
Yeah.
I assume you've had him out here before. I know you've been on their show.
Well, it's tough because he's on the 6 o'clock sports. So, but back in the when he was at Fox Sports Ohio, we used to have him on, and he tweeted that you guys changed the face of Cleveland sports.
Yeah, I hope that was tongue in cheek. I hope it was somewhat sarcastic.
Maybe so, but 14 million hits is pretty impressive. That's for sure. 216-575-0403 is the number. You could also email us at throughout the show at les@fivefront.com. And Rick, you told me, because I was in production before, but you told me that, and I'm not sure why Mark Shapiro is tweeting and not Chris Antonetti, but you're saying that Mark has tweeted that the Indians are out of the Josh Willingham race.
Well, that report, I think, came from Ken Rosenthal, that they were out of the race, and then Shapiro did come out on Twitter and say, trying to, I guess, to calm fans down, as fans are getting a little bit impatient, waiting for this big move, these big lineup changes that we've heard are supposed to come. And so he said, we're building for a pennant race, not for December splash signing. But my take on that is, they're the ones that put out there that we're
right.
going to make the move. It was around Thanksgiving when Shapiro himself tweeted, hey, it's time to buy some Christmas presents and we need some lineup help. And so, as a fan, as a ticket holder, I'm thinking that means to me, all right, they're going to do something in free agency. They're going to make some kind of move and get a lineup help and not just, hey, we re-signed Grady Sizemore.
No, and when you look back at the Sizemore signing at $5 million, and it's questionable whether that was worth it or not, because if it is worth it, it's really going to be $9 million because of the incentives, 8 or 9. So the question is, did his $5 million guarantee prohibit them from getting the next guy, in this case Willingham? And if so, why would you do that? Why would you give up? I mean, Willingham helps your lineup much more than the chance that Grady's. I mean, if you knew Sizemore was the healthy Sizemore, then it's a good move. If you don't know and it prohibited you from signing Willingham, that's a problem.
Yeah, I would think so. And the Indians for the longest time have been the team that had to rely on the Bartolo Colon for Sizemore and Lee trade.
Right.
We've always been give up the veteran, get the young players that are going to turn into stars. And I just wonder if the Indians aren't afraid to give up on Grady Sizemore, not knowing exactly what he's going to turn out to be over the next couple of years.
Yeah, but other guys that they couldn't sign have come back to haunt them, and there wasn't a health question on them. For example, Victor Martinez has already beaten them in several games with his bat, and obviously you know that, and CC Sabathia turned into Matt Laporta and Brantley, and that's certainly not working out very well. So all of a sudden they're afraid of an unhealthy Grady Sizemore?
Well, but if Sizemore had played at an all-star level, would they have been players for him to begin with?
Correct, correct. And if you sign him and he's a piece of the next guy, that's okay too. But if you sign him and it prohibited you, that's not good.
No, I would say that you're right. I think that, you know, and what we've heard is that they've got somewhere around $3 million left to spend in free agency. Yeah. You know, add that to what Grady Sizemore is going to get next year. Would that have got them a Willingham? I think it probably would have.
216-575-0403. Email us during the show at les@fivefront.com. Craig Lindell is here along with Rick Grayshock. They are with waitingfornextyear.com. We have a secret word, and again, I say this all the time, I can't believe nobody has said this secret word in the last couple of weeks. A rather obvious one in football. Say it, we'll send you to Sokolowski's University Inn. We have a question of the week. This week's question of the week is about to come up, and there it is. Will you be following the Cavs this year, or are you too ticked off by the lockout and the lack of any major name coming to the Cavs? You going to follow them as much as you did last year or not?
Well, I certainly will. I'll be watching the Cavs because I want to see these young guys get some playing time and start to develop. My ban, I think, is I don't think I'm going to watch any national games unless they include the Cavaliers. So that means I'm not watching any national games.
Well, you can't blame them. They're hardly a blip on the radar screen.
I can hardly blame them, but at the same time, I've decided I'm a Cavs fan, not an NBA fan.
There you go. Rick, how about you? Do you care about the Cavs this year?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I always care about the Cleveland teams, even if they're down. I'm still going to pay attention. But I think there's some things to be excited about with this team.
Such as?
Well, with
these young guys. I don't think they're going to be that bad.
And that's, I guess, honestly, that's where I think there's a lot of confusion with Cavs fans, and not knowing. One, that Kyrie Irving is going to be, I believe, a really good player in this league. You know, they've got a returning Andy Varejao. They've got some guys that aren't superstars, but that can play this game. And I still believe in Byron Scott as the head coach. I wonder if they're not going to be, certainly they're not a playoff team, but I don't think they're going to be nearly the 15-win team that a lot of projections are saying.
Well, as you know, I'm the self-proclaimed voice of truth and reason in Cleveland sports. So James Harrison was suspended for one game today by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell for his helmet-to-helmet hit on Colt McCoy. The response seems to be Pittsburgh against the world. If you're a Pittsburgh fan, the defense is that the hit was unavoidable. Just about everybody else thinks that the suspension was a Lifetime Achievement Award because Harrison has had multiple offenses. Those who think it was unavoidable need an attitude adjustment. Certainly some of these hits are split-second reactions, but the reality is that the defensive player has to change his approach to the tackle so that he keeps his head and helmet away from the inevitable collision. And that leaves the defender with much more than a split second to decide what to do. It's a little more than coincidence that Harrison constantly is in the wrong place at the wrong time. In fact, the suspension shouldn't be limited to just one game. It ought to be the one game plus however many more games that are missed by the guy who gets the concussion. 216-575-0403. In this case, I don't even know who Pittsburgh plays this week, but they're the team that gets the advantage, not having Harrison.
Yeah, they play the 49ers.
They play the 49ers. You know what? Goodell should have said, you know what? He doesn't get to play when the Browns host them on New Year's Day.
Yeah. If it had been a two-game, he would have been back just in time to play the Browns.
There you go. Lee Jewelers, just in time for the holiday season. Lee Jewelers has a vast selection of fine antique and estate jewelry. Please visit my friend Barry Siegler and his knowledgeable associates who are committed to providing a pleasant buying experience for all. If you're looking for that special piece for that special someone, Lee Jewelers is the place, it's the right place, located on Som Center in the Eastgate Shopping Center in Mayfield Heights. And then not too far from the North Park Grill, which is located at Fairmount Circle, right at the entrance to John Carroll. Great lunch and dinner place to go. $14 to $17 entrees, great sandwiches during the day, salads and burgers and hot dogs, all at North Park Grill. Check out their menu, northparkgrill.com. Then go to diningforless.com. And right now, a special blowout sale for Christmas stocking purposes. Two $25 gift cards, just $20 right now at the North Park Grill. We'll come back in a moment. Waitingfornextyear.com is here, and we're brought to you by McDonald's Restaurants of Northeast Ohio, and I'm loving it.
Are you suffering from dental discomfort because you're too nervous to go to the dentist? I'm Dr. Sam Jaffe. At American Dental Centers, we make you feel at ease. We take our time and explain what we're going to do.
They've made me feel comfortable, and they've been very friendly, always courteous when I've come into the office. I'm very satisfied.
When it's time to see a dentist, it's time to call American Dental Centers.
Join me, Cindy Brita, as we explore some of the more interesting and innovative companies of Northeast Ohio. With products ranging from candles, awnings, and electric cars to peanuts and guitars.
Check out Made Here weeknights at 8:30, only on the Time Warner Cable Northeast Ohio Network.
Looking for a new fast-paced career? Great earning potential? Well, now's your chance to be a part of the exciting world of gaming. Learn up to 8 different games. In just a short time at the Ohio School of Casino Dealers, you could qualify to be working at casinos right here in Cleveland, New York, Atlantic City, Vegas, anywhere there's a casino. You can make your own hours. Job placement assistance available. Call 216-464-DEAL for monthly specials and start your training today at Ohio School of Casino Dealers.
Landerhaven was created for that special moment in people's lives, and that special moment is a wedding reception. From the concept to the decorations to the entrance down the staircase, creating the magic with great service, fine wine and food, an elegant wedding cake, beautiful grounds and gardens, unforgettable images. For a wedding reception you'll always remember, executive caterers at Landerhaven.
You're taking a field trip down to the Gator Bowl, Ohio State versus Florida. They've got tickets at Amazing Tickets, amazingtickets.com, or 216-591-1800. Today is the 13th of December. Birthdays for today: Larry Doby, the Hall of Famer, first African-American player in the American League with the Indians. Ferguson Jenkins, Hall of Famer. Bartender, 1947. Dale Berra, not nearly as good as Yogi Berra, or Yogi Bear for that matter. Mike Mordecai and Bo Pelini, coach at Nebraska. Josh Fogg, all born on the 13th of December. 216-575-0403. You can email us at les@fivefront.com. Rick Grayshock and Craig Lindahl are here. Mark in Lyndhurst says, Shapiro says he didn't see Willingham as a good defensive fit, but 30 home runs and approximately 90 RBIs would make up for that. I guess I'm just calling them cheap again. What do you think? That's what it sounds like.
It's what it sounds like. You know, I mean, we keep waiting and hearing that, well, they're going to make a trade. It's not going to be free agents going to make a trade. All right, well, make that trade. You know, let's see it. Let's see what you're going to come to camp with.
Denny in Mansfield, send Laporta to Korea for Garko. You like that trade?
Well, yeah, Ryan Garko is clearly the answer. We've been waiting for that answer for a long time.
Right.
The home run swing where he drops to one knee,
yeah,
that's my favorite.
And the other is, if he's the answer, apparently for Eric Wedge, he was the answer to play left field one time, which the three of us could have told him, no, that's not really necessary.
I'd rather see Luis Valbuena.
Well, maybe not, now that I think about it.
If we can get some Kung Pao chicken in the deal, that might be.
Yeah, throw that right in.
There you go.
Let's go to Strongsville for Wayne. Wayne, good evening. Go ahead.
Good evening, Les. I got a couple questions for your guests on
Do
the
it.
Indians and their financial situation. Last year, they had a payroll of around $55 million, and they projected an attendance of 1,400,000.
Actually, 1-3, but go ahead.
Okay, 1-3. They exceeded that by 400,000 or 500,000, 1,800,000, which, according to a recent article I read, if you project $40 per ticket, that's roughly $16 million extra.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
I see where you're going, but you need some facts here.
Okay.
the Indians will tell you that their average ticket, by the time it's all said and done, between bleacher seats, upper deck, and all that, you're looking more in the $20, $22 range per ticket.
Well, if you've ever had a beer and a hamburger.
I didn't say beer and hamburgers. I said the ticket.
Well, I'm talking about revenue that the Indians take in.
Okay. How much do you suppose the average fan spends at a game?
I would say if you bought a normal ticket around $20, you're certainly going to spend $20 on food.
All right, you're close. The average amount that a fan spends, and this includes the team shop, is $18 a person.
So I'm pretty close when I say they made an extra $16 million then. So my thought is, and my second part of this question is, many years we've said that the Yes Network and all these other networks in the East Coast generate a lot of revenue. Well, Cleveland now for 4 or 5 years has had their own network, STO, which certainly brings in revenue.
But it's underperformed.
So my question is, why don't they have even a minimal amount to get a free agent in the class of a Josh Willingham? I'm certainly not going to think we're going to sign Albert Pujols or any of the other high-priced guys, but Josh Willingham probably $8 million a year. You know,
all right, let's respond, Craig and Rick. My first response is that automatically, because of arbitration, that's already going to go up about 12 to 15 million without even signing another player. But let's see if you guys agree.
Well, I certainly share the frustrations, and I think that they should probably invest some money to make some money, you know, that old adage. But first of all, they certainly have some expenses and costs out of that 16 million.
Yeah, they're also going to lose a lot of money on $1.3 million, but go ahead.
Right, so then, but the idea is that they still should be able to spend that extra money on a player here or there. And I don't understand why they don't have an extra $8 or $9 million on a year that they would consider a window year. You know, certainly most reasonable people consider this year and the next year a pretty big window, even if you have to project a lot of career years and a lot of young guys to play really well. The Indians should be willing to spend that extra $8 to $9 million, even if they can't justify it with butts in the seats.
And I agree with that 100%. And what I'd like to say is, you know, if you start trading for this outfielder, right-handed bat with power, you're going to have to probably give up pitching, probably the bullpen, more than likely. So what you're doing is you're taking away from his strength to add a bat in left field, rather than taking maybe $8 million for a 3-year contract and giving it to somebody like a Willingham or a Cuttier from Minnesota that's a free agent. I think that's the best business plan. Why weaken the bullpen?
Well, because they may not be sold on Chris Perez.
Well,
if they think Vinny Pastano is better, then they can make a deal.
Well, and Shapiro also said, in fact, he said today on Twitter that they project that the Indians' payroll is going to be $20 million higher next year.
Just by arbitration?
By arbitration and the contracts that they've already taken on this year. So they are going to spend more money than they did last year. The question then becomes, as we were talking earlier, is it the right money? Are they making the right moves?
They're not stupid. They know that because they got off to a great start last year and they stayed in contention through mid-August, that's why the $1.3 million went to $1.8 million. And bringing on Jim Thome, while it turned out to be a financial windfall, that's not the reason they got him. They got him because they thought they could still be in contention at that point.
How much money do you think that other TV station really pulls in? I mean, they have quite a bit of programming.
It's not nearly what they projected. I don't know
it's in the millions.
I don't know the figures, but it's not nearly. They gave up a guaranteed amount of money from Fox Sports Ohio to try this other venture. And my guess is that it hasn't worked out to the point where they thought it would have. I don't have the details on it, but my guess is that it's not nearly what it was supposed to be.
That's the big mystery. You know, it's nobody knows what they're making over there. TV stations make a lot of money.
No.
Look how well paid you are, Les. My God.
Not that much.
Their money is basically tied to how many subscriptions they have in homes, and they get a certain amount per home per month. That's where the money is.
And their advertising, of course, right?
Well, you wouldn't know cost of advertising. They bring in minimal amount in advertising. Their money is in the households.
And it's not like they're not selling ads. I mean, they're willing to put your name on anything in that stadium.
Right.
So.
Right. Thanks, Wayne.
Okay.
216-575-0403. Ben, our prolific emailer, says the NFL is screwing Pittsburgh in one way. The Pittsburgh Steelers have to play in San Francisco next Monday. Then because of Christmas, they have to play the following Saturday afternoon against the Rams. All right, but that has nothing to do with the Harrison situation. But regarding James Harrison, I'm fairly certain Ray Lewis hits every bit as hard as he does, yet you never hear about Lewis getting fined for helmet-to-helmet hits. So it's not a case of hard-hitting defensive plays. It's how it's hard-hitting or where.
It's considered unnecessary roughness,
Right.
blindside, helmet-to-helmet. It's all about the form. And certainly you can unload on any running back in the league the way that James Harrison did
Right.
on Colt McCoy. The idea is that a running back would be in a more of a defensive posture than what Colt McCoy was when he was still considering passing.
Well, he
And
did
so-
throw the ball. He
and
just
he did.
unloaded it before.
When I was saying, I don't really blame James Harrison for hitting Colt McCoy even a little bit late. I blame him for the way he hit him, helmet to helmet with the upward trajectory, like a missile. That's the problem.
And we all admit it's a split-second thing. However, if you're not in if you make sure that your tackling position is different, you can avoid that.
Well, it's a split-second decision to figure out whether he's passing or running. It's not a split-second decision to figure out that that is Colt McCoy. He knew that was Colt McCoy
sure.
for
As
much
opposed to a
longer.
running back, yeah.
He's got to approach the entire play knowing that's Colt McCoy.
Exactly. 216-575-0403, Les at 5front.com. Mix Restaurant, located at the top of Cedar Hill, Cedar and Fairmount. And go to the website mixcleveland.com and check out their great menu. Then go to diningforless.com. The blowout sale continues at that website. 2 $25 gift cards. Right now, just $20. You can't beat it. Great stocking stuffers for Christmas. You got to do it while supplies last. I'll be doing radio next week and the week after at 92.3 The Fan. Tuesday through Friday of next week, the 20th through the 23rd, I'll be doing morning drive from 6 until 10. The following week, between Christmas and New Year's, 28th through the 30th, I'll be in for Baskin and Phelps at from 10 to 2. That's on 92.3 The Fan. We'll come back in a moment. Rick and Craig are here from waitingfornextyear.com. We're brought to you by McDonald's Restaurants of Northeast Ohio, and I'm loving it.
Introducing Signature Home. Experience the ultimate selection of products from Time Warner Cable, with a level of personal attention and professional expertise that is unmatched. You'll have a dedicated specialist who will tailor everything just right for you, and who is on call day or night should you ever need assistance. It's a class of service you might have thought had disappeared from the world. Signature Home, exclusively for you, exclusively from Time Warner Cable.
You've seen their faces at the Corporate Club and Executive Caterers at Landerhaven. They've talked about business, politics, the economy, healthcare, sports, and the news media. As a sponsor for the 2011 series, you'll be identified with a monthly television show airing several times on Time Warner Cable. Your company will receive exposure in broadcast, print, and electronic advertising each month, and season table discounts are available. For information, call Executive Caterers at Landerhaven at 440-449-0700.
Didn't know you could play this game in slow motion.
Want to play for your McNuggets?
Watch this. Ladies first.
The simple joy of keeping it old school. Everyone wants those classic made with white meat McNuggets. And now get 20 for $4.99, only at McDonald's.
Hey, it works every time.
Mike the Gambling Man here at our award-winning Volkswagen dealership on the Bedford Auto Mile.
Who can make a car deal? The Gambling Man can.
$389 would be a great lease on this gorgeous CC, but I will do even better. How about $349? Come see me, Mike the Gambling Man, and you will also receive free maintenance on all my Volkswagens. I give you great deals because I'm the Gambling Man, and I can.
The Mad Greek, a landmark restaurant established in 1977, now with 2 great locations, just opened up in Beechwood Place. Check them out, Mediterranean decor and a friendly atmosphere for lunch or dinner. And the main restaurant, the one at Fairmount and Cedar, just 5 minutes away from University Circle and University Hospital, as well as the clinic. And Case Western, check it out. It's open 7 days a week, and their menu available at madgreekcleveland.com and also on diningforless.com. Two $25 gift cards, just $20 right now. Blowout sale prior to Christmas while supplies last. Pat in Hinckley emails, you got to be kidding me, a one-game suspension. This guy's deliberately hit players to knock them out of the game when it appears the Steelers are struggling against the opposing team. This type of play by the Steelers goes back to the 70s when Jack Lambert would knock out the playmaker when the Steelers were losing. Harrison should be suspended for the season. This type of brutality has got to be stopped. Has the NFL forgotten about Darryl Stingley? Another thing about the Stingley hit, Jack Tatum, that was not a, I mean, obviously the angle that he hit him was what really did Stingley in, but I don't think it was a vicious hit. I don't think it was anything more than you see in any normal, and that happened to be an exhibition game. That wasn't a deliberate, terrible hit. Well, just unfortunate how it happened.
And honestly, the Harrison hit is what, as little as 5 years ago, is completely legal play.
Yeah, right.
So,
right.
You know, you can't, I don't think you can go back, you know, years and years and say that there's a legacy of dirty play or whatever at stake here. You know, this is one guy who needs to learn to tackle differently.
And Bruce from Willoughby says, I heard today that James Harrison got a one-game suspension for his hit on Colt McCoy. Is this a joke? You can be an intimidating defensive player without being dirty. Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher, or Clay Matthews are examples. Great show. Well, a lot of it is geography. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you're incensed that he gets suspended, right? Sure.
Well, and the thing about the suspension, this is, again, because of a history. You know, they've fined him and fined him and fined him, so now they think, okay, well, the fines are not working, so
right.
He's going to miss a game. He's going to miss, you know, some $200,000 worth of game paycheck there. So in a sense, he is being fined as well, I guess. You know, if this doesn't work, next time he does it, he'll probably get a 3-game suspension.
Well, Carl in Willoughby says, I feel that James Harrison should be suspended for the rest of the season. This is the 5th quarterback he's gotten a flagrant penalty called on him, and a couple of others on wide receivers. Clearly the fines are not changing his play. Maybe some games missed might change his thinking a little bit, because right now he just doesn't get it. That's directly to your point.
He doesn't get it.
Let's go to Rich, who's in Westlake. Hello, Rich. Go ahead.
Great show, Les.
Today?
Yes, every day. When I like this format with these gentlemen you have.
Thank you. By the way, did we miss our How Come Quickie? Did we miss that? Can we put it up? Tonight's How Come Quickie, and we'll get that momentarily.
A helmet to helmet.
Hold on one second. You can't mess with quickies. How come if 2 German boxers named Helmet fought, there would be many helmet to helmet hits?